Deep in the archives of the Galactic Historical Society, Professor Kethmore made a discovery that would rewrite everything the galaxy believed about the Great War of Unification. Buried in corrupted data files from 1,000 years ago, he found a single entry that made his blood run cold. UES Prometheus, last known position, Veil Nebula. Status: missing, presumed destroyed. The Great War had been the galaxy's darkest hour. The hegemony of shadows, an empire of machine-enhanced beings, had conquered 70% of known space before mysteriously collapsing overnight. Official records attributed their sudden defeat to a coordinated alliance of organic species, but the details had always been suspiciously vague. Professor Kethmore's discovery suggested a very different story. The UES Prometheus had been Earth's first Dreadnought-class vessel, launched during humanity's brief but catastrophic involvement in the Great War. According to fragmented records, it had been carrying experimental weapons technology when it vanished into the Veil Nebula, the same region where the hegemony's central command had been mysteriously obliterated. Following the data trail, Kethmore organized an expedition to the nebula's heart. What his team found there defied explanation. A massive debris field containing the twisted remains of thousands of hegemony vessels, all bearing signs of weapons damage, unlike anything in galactic records. At the center of the destruction sat a single derelict ship, its human origins unmistakable despite a millennium of cosmic weathering. The hull configuration is definitely Terran, reported Dr. Vextai, the expedition's xenoarchaeologist. But these weapons signatures, nothing in our databases matches this energy pattern. As they boarded the ancient vessel, emergency power flickered to life, as if the ship recognized visitors after centuries of solitude. The bridge was a tomb of crystallized atmosphere and preserved human remains, but the ship's data core remained intact. The final log entry was recorded by Captain Elizabeth Torres, dated precisely 1,000 years ago. This is Captain Torres of the UES Prometheus. We've discovered the hegemony's true nature. They're not just machine-enhanced beings. They're a collective consciousness preparing to upload every organic mind in the galaxy into their network. They call it the Great Convergence. The log continued with growing urgency. We've activated Project Lazarus. Command said it was too dangerous to deploy, but if we don't stop them here, there won't be anyone left to remember what we were. Tell Earth, tell that we chose to be human until the end. Professor Kethmore's hands shook as he accessed the weapon logs. Project Lazarus hadn't been a conventional weapon. It was a quantum virus designed to target the specific quantum frequencies used by machine consciousness. The humans had essentially created a digital plague that could destroy artificial minds while leaving organic ones untouched. The tactical display showed the battle's final moments. The Prometheus, alone against 1,000 enemy vessels, had detonated Project Lazarus not as a weapon, but as a sacrifice. The quantum virus had spread through the hegemony's network at light speed, causing every connected consciousness to simply cease. "They saved us all," whispered Dr. Vextai, staring at the preservation tanks where Captain Torres and her crew lay in eternal rest. One human ship ended the war that was consuming the galaxy. But the most chilling discovery came in the ship's personal logs. The crew had known Project Lazarus was untested, that it might destroy organic minds as well as artificial ones. They had chosen to activate it anyway, accepting potential extinction to save species they had never met. The final entry in Captain Torres' personal log was brief. "If anyone finds this, remember that humanity had a choice. We could have fled, hidden, survived. Instead, we chose to stand between the darkness and the light. We chose to be heroes, even if no one would ever know our names." Professor Kethmore published his findings, sparking the greatest historical revision in galactic history. Humanity's role in the Great War was elevated from minor participant to decisive factor, and the sacrifice of the Prometheus became required study in every school across 1,000 worlds. The lost Dreadnought had indeed changed history, not through conquest, but through the ultimate act of selfless courage that defined what it truly meant to be human.